Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back in the video today, and today the Houston Astros lose to the New York Yankees 5-4 on opening day. Tough loss for the Astros, but, back-to-back years now that the Astros have lost opening day after they had that big streak. I think it was like 9. It was 9 in a row, I believe, because I remember them talking about how it would be 10 and would break some kind of record or would be near to some record or something if the Astros, or maybe it was the record, if the Astros would have won last year against the White Sox, but they lost opening day last year, and now they lose opening day again. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think it's a little bit more tough this year now, this year, because, number one, it's the Yankees. Number two, we're up 4-0 in this game. We didn't have that type of lead in the first, last year opening day when we, I think the final score of that game was like 3-2 or 2-1, like something like that. So it wasn't a big deal that the Astros lost that game. I do believe the final score in that game was like 3-2 or 4-2, so it wasn't, a big deal. But, with this game, it is a little bit tough because the Astros had a lead in this game, and their relievers came in and kind of blew it for them. They, once the Astros took out starter Valdez as he went 4 2/3 in this ball game, the relievers gave up 3 runs. Now, one of those earned runs did go to Framber Valdez because the only run that Seth Martinez gave up in this ball game was a runner that scored because of, the runner scored because Valdez put him there because it was an RBI walk for the Yankees to make it 4-3. But Valdez, when he was physically on the field, he only gave up 2 runs. And Presley, Martinez, and Montero come in and give up some runs, and it was just tough. But it is what it is, and hopefully the Astros can bounce back tomorrow when they play the Yankees at 6 or 7, I believe, tomorrow, or 6 something, on Apple TV+. But so 5-4 is the final score. 13 hits for the Astros, 8 hits for the Yankees, 0 errors in the ball game. Now I want to conclude to the end of this ball game was a really tough because the Astros in the bottom of the ninth, down 1, had a chance in this ball game. Starts off with a pinch hitter, Mauricio Dubon single. Then Jordan out. Well, Altuve popped up, or grounded out. I don't know. I think he popped up. And then Alvarez hit not an RBI, a infield single. And the next at bat, you got Kyle Tucker. This is the what makes putting Alvarez at 2 and Tucker at 3rd back to back between each other beautiful. Kyle Tucker hits a single, and Dubon. They send Dubon. I thought it was a stupid decision. Look, I know you want to tie the baseball game, of course, but up next, you have your most patient hitter at the plate, and that's Alex Bregman. And Alex Bregman, with the bases loaded, we know his history and his track record with the bases loaded. He is an absolute demon with the bases loaded. There is something wrong with this man with the bases loaded. It needs to be tested. So I know you're probably not thinking about, let's not send him because Bregman's amazing with the bases loaded. But he's also your most patient hitter on the team, also one of your best hitters on the team. And I think it would have been, instead of going for the dangerous gamble, having Bregman in a situation where he either needs to get a hit, ties the game or gives you the lead, or just sending one to the outfield ties the game. But instead, with 2 outs, Bregman has to get a hit. That doesn't happen. I say Bregman would have got the job done with the bases loaded. There's a lot more pressure with 2 runners on, 2 outs, having to get a hit to tie the ball game than whether with the bases loaded with 1 out, and you don't necessarily have to get a hit to tie the ball game because you can do it in some other way with getting a sac fly or a fielder's choice for an RBI. That's just some of the options that you could have, Bregman could have had to potentially tie the ball game for the Astros. But I think it was a stupid decision to send Dubon. But it is what it is. It's game 1. What are you gonna do about it? All right, let's go over pitchers, losing pitchers. Win goes to, I hope I say his name right. Loisaga. He's 1-0 this year. I probably did say his name wrong, and I'm sorry. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits given up, 0 runs, 1 strikeout, 0 walks. Loss goes to Ryan Presley. I thought he was personally. I thought he was pretty much terrible in this game, but I think any fans who were upset with the way Ryan Presley pitched today, and maybe potentially like, oh, he's getting old and he's not the same pitcher. This is a new role for RP, and he has to. It's I remember hearing them, the crew, Jeff Blum and Todd Cowles saying today, telling the broadcast were saying that this is the last time Presley pitched in in that kind of circumstances, before the eighth inning. Last time he pitched before the eighth inning was June 2021. It has been almost 3 years since Ryan Presley has pitched before the eighth inning. So this is a new role for him, and he's going to have to get used to it. He's used to pitching in the ninth inning, pitching for the Astros when they need him to, keep a lead or, keep a deficit from getting worse. And today it was a situation where, yes, he was in a situation where he needed to keep a lead, but it's in a different spot. So I think it's a little bit different from him, and he just has to get used to the new role, pitching in the seventh or eighth or even earlier, for God forbid. But, he pitched only the seventh, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Save goes to Holmes, his first save of the year. Of course, it's first game of the season. Unless you're the Padres or the Dodgers, who had that 2-game series. He pitched in the ninth, of course, gave 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. Scoring summary: first inning, Astros had a 3-spot. Jasper McCormick hit a single to center. Alvarez scored, and Tucker scored. Jose Abreu to third, and it is 2-0. First inning, Yanner Diaz with an RBI single. Jose Abreu to score. McCormick to second. It's 3-0. Second inning, Jake Meyers hits a home run to left, 415 feet, 4-0. I will never understand why they took him out of this ball game. I'm fine with taking out Jake to put in a guy like Dubon, which eventually Mauricio Dubon came in, but originally John Singleton came in. Look, I think the sending Dubon was a bad coaching decision. It wasn't a terrible one, but what was a terrible coaching decision in this baseball game was putting in John Singleton. I think that was in the 6th inning with runners on the corners with 2 outs. Look, I would have been fine if you would have kept Jake Meyers or if you would have put in Dubon. But I think putting in Singleton in a position like that, sure, if he gets a walk, Altuve comes up to the plate, but Dubon, you could have kept Jake Meyers in that position, who just hit a home run, or you could have put Dubon, who had a hit today and was red hot in spring training, but instead you put in John Singleton. I do not understand that coaching decision, and if anybody can, explain that to me in a, that sounds reasonable, I really would like to see you try. All right, let's go to the Yankees scoring summary because they had to come back some way. Juan Soto hit an RBI single. Trevino scored 1-4. Rizzo was hit by pitch by Fromper in his last pitch of the game, 2-4. Anthony Volpe walked, 3-4. Cabrera hit a home run, 4-4. Verdugo hit a sacrifice fly. Judge scored, 5-4. Astros hitting today. Altuve went 1-for-5 today. The Yankee killer was not the Yankee killer. More like the Yankees were the Altuve killer. Altuve did hit a single to center in the 7th, but he struck out twice. Struck out twice in the 1st and the 4th. So bad day for Altuve, but hopefully he can bounce back tomorrow. Alvarez was solid today, or good today, 2-for-5. Had a single to center in the 1st. Had a infield single in the 9th. That was it for Jordan. He had 2 flyouts today in the 2nd and the 7th. Kyle Tucker went 1-for-4 in the 1st inning. He had a walk. Alvarez to second. In the 9th inning, he had a single to right. Alvarez to second. Dubon thrown at home. Of course, the very famous play of the day. 1-for-4 for Tucker. That's his first hit of the season and his only hit of the day. Alex Bregman went 1-for-5 today. His only hit of the day was in the 7th when he hit a single to right. Altuve to second, and that was it for Breggy. Jose Abreu went 0-for-3 today. He did have a walk in the 1st to get the bases loaded, and he scored a run. But besides that, he struck out, he grounded out, and he flied out to left. So that's it for Jose. Jasper McCormick went 1-for-4 today. He singled to center. Alvarez scored, and Tucker scored. And Abreu to third for 2 RBIs, and that was it for Chas, his only hit of the day. Yanner Diaz, the best hitter in the lineup today. Yanner Diaz went 3-for-4, single to right for an RBI. The 4th inning, he grounded out to third. 6th inning, he singled to right. And the 8th inning, he hit an infield single. Jeremy Pena went 2 for 4 today with a double to left in the 4th. And the single, he hit a single to center in the 6th. Diaz to third. Diaz had some really, really nice speed on that hit by Pena. That was it for Jeremy. He had 2 of the ground outs. One was in a double play. Jake went 1 for 2, hit a home run, struck out, and then he got replaced by John Singleton. So stupid. Grounded out to pitcher in his only at bat with the runners on the corners. Now, this wasn't stupid. Putting Dubon in for him after John Singleton had that at bat. He goes 1 for 1 with a single to right. That's great. But it should have been Dubon batting in the 6th in the first place. But then Dubon gets thrown out at home. Valdez, I thought he looked solid today. I thought he had a little bit of a command issue, but gave up 6 walks. I thought that was my problem. He gave up 6 walks in not even 5 innings. He pitched 4 and 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks. I like how multiple times he was able to bounce back in this game. He had a situation with I think bases loaded with 1 out and double play. There was 2 other double plays as well, and he just did a good job of getting out of trouble. And he did it in his last inning as well in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, 0 outs. He got back-to-back strikeouts, but then he hits Rizzo, and that was it for his day. And I think if he doesn't hit Rizzo, I think he probably gets through that 5th inning, and that's it for Valdez. And maybe the Astros win this ball game because the Yankees don't go on to score another 2 runs in the 5th. But I'm not playing the what-if game. Seth Martinez, I thought he didn't look great today. He pitched the last out of the 5th. He gave up 1 walk. Obviously, that's all he gave up. So you would think he wasn't terrible. He didn't give up any hits. He didn't give up any runs. But he had 9 pitches. He only had 2 strikes. So not great. Montero, I thought he wasn't terrible. He gave up 1 hit with 1 earned run, was with a home run to Cabrera. So obviously he gave up a home run. But outside of that, he wasn't terrible because 18 pitches, 11 strikes. And outside of that home run, he got the Astros through the inning pretty easily. And then, then next you got Ryan Presley, losing pitcher, 7th inning, 2 hits, giving up 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and Presley struggled. But it's a new position for him. It's a new spot with the Astros batting in the 8th. Pitching in the 8th and the 7th, or before that. Then Taylor Scott pitched in the 8th, his first outing with the Astros. He's someone who, this is the first time he's ever made a opening day roster, and I thought he looked spectacular. He pitched the 8th inning, got through, gave up 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. 9 out of his 18 pitches were strikes. But then let's get to the best pitcher of the day for the Astros. That was the new addition, Josh Hader. We paid good money for him. Of course we did. 9th inning, he pitches in the 9th inning, gave up 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. So Josh Hader did good and was able to keep the Astros in this game. Then get that deficit worse for the Astros. Gave the Astros a breathing chance, and they just weren't able to get that 1 run or even multiple to win the ball game and walk off the Yankees. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.